What does a strategy generally include? And there are, of course, many different elements that are relevant to include in your strategy, but the challenge is also on the other side to simplify it as much as you can. However, I do believe that there are some basic things that you need to discuss with yourself and for yourself and document some things to make sure that you create, let's say, ideal circumstances or conditions for you to trade the best way possible relative to your character. So a few elements, I will go through them quickly, which are generic elements of any type of strategy. So that disregards alt season specifically, but just trading strategies in general. First, you need to know what will be your input in trading. So that regards the time that you have available, but also the time when you can actually invest in. So do you have 8 hours a week in a sense that you can spend 1 day a week, or can you spend 7 times an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour? That makes quite a difference. What is the capital that you have available to start trading as well? But on the other side, it's also very important to have your expectations clear. What are your expectations when you start trading, for example, in alt season? What are the goals that you would like to achieve? Do you expect, or do you have a goal that within your first alt season you can 5x or 10x your portfolio? That's of course very relevant starting point for your strategy. Another thing that's of course crucial is your analysis of the markets, whether it is technical analysis, fundamental analysis. You need to have some knowledge about the market. You need to have come with a vision or a opinion about what you believe is relevant in the market you plan to trade. Following that, it's crucial to, let's say, make a list with the preferred assets that you're planning or willing to trade when the market setup or the trading setup is there. An essential part of your strategy is risk management. And risk management is a broad term for anything that will help you to avoid or minimize risk. So that includes the storage of your coins, risk management with regards to your portfolio, security is an important part, and that also of course includes things with regards to exchanges. Position sizing is also crucial in that sense. So this entails a lot of different topics for you to be able to do this on a longer term. That's the essential part of risk management. Of course, you want to include your trading style as well with regards to time. Do you want to do day trading, midterm trading, maybe long-term trading, investing? Do you plan to trade specific setups? This will be included in your trading style. Of course, it's crucial if you have all these elements discussed in your strategy, when would you like to enter a position? And of course, related to that, under what circumstances or conditions are you planning to exit a position? And that of course includes both when you're in profit and when you're in loss with regards to minimizing your risk. Another element that is crucial is the reflection upon yourself and the market sentiment. The basis of every strategy should be that you have a strategy that fits who you are as a person. So therefore it's also crucial to make sure that you reflect upon yourself plenty of times to make sure that your strategy is still aligned with whom you are, with your stress levels, with the time you spend on it, etc. Documentation is crucial. So everything that is relevant in your opinion, log it, write it down, make notes, because in the end you need to analyze whatever happened in this case in an alt season. That comes to the last point, that it's always crucial to evaluate your trading strategy. You will make mistakes, there's no doubt about it, and with every type of evaluation that you do with regards to your strategy, your results, the way you feel about things, you can improve your strategy and just incrementally tweak and make sure that the strategy is getting better and better over time, so that it will take you less effort and it will take you less stress to execute it and actually materialize your strategy into solid profits, whether it is in Bitcoin or fiat. So here we see you see it faded in the background, the 3 strategies that were discussed. And of course, every strategy will have implication or consequences. And with regards to these proposed alt-season trading strategies, I would like to go through the implications of them. And let's first start with Mark's strategy, which simplified means that he is going to swing trade. And swing trade means, if we look at this chart, I took the strategy chart again, let's just assume that this is your ideal anatomy of a coin in an alt season, that he is planning to make shorter term trade. So in this case, the green box indicates a trade with, for example, an entry here and an exit here, an entry here and an exit here. So that's the style he would like to trade. Of course, the implication, if you plan to trade like this, are various. First of all, your scope most likely will be enormous in the sense that you will try to track as many coins as possible, if not all coins, which is of course close to impossible, but your scope will be enormous. Then the effort that Mark needs to do to execute a strategy into perfection is that he will need to be on top of all the coins during alt season. Let's say alt season lasts for 3 months, then he will need to work his ass off for those 3 months that alt season is lasting, because there are opportunities to make quick flips everywhere. He also needs to do a lot of TA, checking charts for good setup. If he has a good setup, then of course he has to apply solid risk management for each trade. So most likely he will also need to set alerts on the right time to make sure that he can manage and monitor his trades. Also, seeing that he links his altcoin trades to whatever Bitcoin is doing, his strategy will have a strong dependency on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin tends to show massive moves, in this case, let's assume it's up, then most likely alts will react to it negatively. So that also means that he will have a time where he can trade less on his altcoins, also potentially risking his strategy in executing and gaining profits from it. His decision making is of course very crucial, but he needs to make continuous decisions, not only in selling positions, but also in buying new positions. So he will put a lot of, pressure on himself to make continuous decisions every time of the day when the trade setups are favorable according to his strategy. That also means that the number of trades he is likely to make in alt season will be at a maximum. Seeing that all the coins make moves, sudden move, enormous moves, he needs to operate many different trades at the same time in order to indeed get that double or triple the portfolio target. Because that's actually his goal, right? That's also what is stated in the message. And the profit, what he can achieve, is optimal with the strong condition that he is indeed a good trader. This type of trading is not meant for the beginning trader because it will require a lot of experience in order to make sure that you can actually read the chart well, read sentiment well, and also do it in a very short time and for a variety of various numbers of coins at the same time. So these are the consequences that I see for this strategy. Keep in mind, when you look at these charts, and taking into account the percentage of gain that you can achieve with every trade, that your risk-reward ratio decreases substantially when the pump intensifies. And that, of course, has to do with the fact that going from here to here is your maximal, or at least your most favorable risk-reward ratio. But going up here and trying to get this trade while the potential downside is all the way back from here, that of course decreases your risk-reward ratio significantly. When moving on to the trading strategy of Bully, he takes more the opposite side of trading. So instead of going swing trading, he has decided already before alt season to take certain positions and just hold them and try to sell them at the right time. So essentially what you can see applying, let's say, a buy and a sell to this chart, that he is likely to buy somewhere already in the accumulation phase or maybe a bit after a breakout. I do not know for certain, of course. And he is planning to sell most likely not with every green candle that he sees, that he will sell partials, but he will patiently wait and monitor his trades until they reach, let's say, their climax of enormous green candles and just sells out over there. Or maybe on the way back. That depends, of course, on the execution of the trade. The consequences that are linked to this strategy, that he only has a few coins to watch, and most of his effort is also done before alt season. Because it's very important that his decision making is based on the one hand on buying as early as possible, maybe against a slightly higher risk. But during alt season, his decision making is limited to monitoring his trade and selling at what he believes is the right time. That also implies that by having a certain positions, but not trading anything or maybe not too much during alt season, that he has no guarantee that a pump will occur. So that also means that he will miss many coins that will get a pump. However, if the coin that he has bought will receive a pump, he will gain a maximum amount, or at least close to the maximum amount, in profits from it, because his buy will be generally taking so low that he can sell for a enormous profit. So with regards to profit on this strategy, he will reach optimal profits for relative to the time he spent during alt season. Looking at the trading strategy of Crypto Messiah, what he will do is he will, let's say, flip profits and roll over profits as soon as possible. So the core idea behind this strategy is to make sure that you buy in as low as possible. So make sure that you find setups that did not do anything related to a pump, but are still in accumulation or maybe just after breakout of the accumulation zone. So he buys somewhere here, and then most likely he will sell either here or here. Maybe leave a moon back, he didn't mention, but he will just, let's say, sell most of his position and reinvest it in a coin that is still in this phase. And the interesting part of this is that you can buy a coin here and wait for an 8x, which might take a lot of time. Maybe it will never happen, but he will just, let's say, accept the fact that he will get a 2x or maybe a 3x on a certain coin, take out all the profit and reinvest it in another one. Because in effect, for each coin to achieve a 2x or a 3x, the chances and the likelihood are higher that that will occur compared with buying one coin and just waiting for it to reach a 8x or a 9x. The consequences of this strategy is that he does have quite a few, or at least quite many coins to watch, in a sense that he will need to track all the charts of these different coins to make sure that he is still following those coins that are still in accumulation or almost close to breakout. That means that also his effort is done both before, looking for the good setups, already buying in, and during alt season, because he needs to continuously do that. His decision making is related both to the buy side and the selling side. And the interesting part of this thing is that how I concluded from his tweet, that pumps are not necessarily a priority. He is not, let's say, necessarily waiting for the big pump to occur. His plan is to make quick flips on a double, triple of his investment, and then just trying to achieve that again. So his goal lies in buying low for a certain position. That also means that timing and monitoring the market is key. So when a setup is good in a sense, he needs to roll over and flip the profits of another position and put it in the coin as soon as possible. So the profit actually that you can achieve from this could be maximal, also with the strong condition or the, let's say, provision that you execute it to perfection. This also implies that this is a good strategy if you're a more experienced trader. Of course, with regards to the consequences or the implications of an alt season, you can simplify things and just make a nice table and list of it with regards to the consequences of each specific strategy. And What I've done is I've written down a couple of implications of each strategy and written down which part will require more or less with regards to the impact of that strategy. So here we have Mark, swing trading. We have Bully. He is hodling coins during alt season. And then we have Crypto Messiah doing something that lies in the middle of these two strategies. Just a note that I would like to stress here is that these strategies and their implication apply specifically for and during alt seasons. So when it concerns having a similar, let's say, hodling strategy for coins outside alt season, then the implications are different. So take into account that this slide is specifically aimed for discussing the consequences of altcoin strategies. So let's start. When you look at the time needed on a daily basis, then it's obvious to see that the swing trading side that Mark is doing versus the hodling side that Bully is doing will be substantial. Mark will spend most of the time on a daily basis trading, watching, monitoring, managing his positions or setups, while Bully, indeed, as he mentions, can just watch movies and drink beer. When it concerns the scope of coins that you need to manage, or trades that you need to manage, or positions that you need to manage, then it more or less shows the same picture. On the swing side, at least the swing trading side of dealing with alt season, then your scope is the largest. Many coins to watch, many positions to watch. And on the other side, you have the hodling side, where you just have a few coins and you check them on a daily basis, see how they're doing, and watch if there is any sign of a potential pump coming in to make sure that you do your thing necessary. The charting side shows the same picture. So most of the charting, most of the TA is done on the swing trading side, while on the hodling side, there is not any effort to do any more. In a sense that you, of course, need to maybe identify the swings, but essentially you're waiting for a pump to occur, or at least waiting for the potential reversal of an alt season and therefore also the coin to occur to make sure that you can sell at the right time. The fundamental side, however, shows the opposite picture. So Bully will have spent most likely a lot of time on the fundamental side, making sure that he picks the right coins before alt season initiates. While on the swing trading side, you mainly look for good technical setups. And as discussed in a previous video, FA during a alt season is of lesser importance. That also implies that the flexibility that Mark has in executing his trading strategy will be the most, in a sense that he can just step in and out of positions without a lot of effort or a lot of consequences, while on the other side, Bully needs to make sure that he has picked the right coins. And the moment that it seems that he did not pick the right coins, for him it will be relatively difficult to get out of position and start creating new positions that show a favorable risk reward. Because take into account, the more alt season progresses, and in a later stage alt season is, the less likely you will find a good risk reward setup. With regards to the chances of a pump, on the swing trading side, you will have the least chance of getting a pump, in a sense that you're looking for a good setup on a short-term basis. And when you have reached, for example, maybe 40%, 50%, if you're lucky, you double up, then you exit the position and look for a new one. On the hodling side, you have most chances of a pump, in a sense that you do not know, of course, which coins might get a pump. In that sense, the swing trading side has the most opportunity and the flexibility to take positions into such a coin. But on the other side, if you're holding a coin that indeed is showing a pump, you have, of course, 100% chance of having the perfect setup, in a sense that you have a really low buy-in and you can maximize from a pump. You can maximize your profits from a pump. The importance of the decision making is also a crucial thing. So on the one side, the Mark needs to make a lot of decisions. His flexibility is the highest, and it also implies that whenever he makes a poor decision, the consequences of a poor decision will be relatively low, in a sense that if he applies proper stop loss management and he will make a poor decision, he will get stopped out and he can just move his capital to a new position or a new trade. while bully needs to make sure that whenever he makes a decision to buy a coin or to sell a coin, he needs to spend a lot of time and thinking about whether it is the right coin to buy and the right price to buy versus selling the coin as well. With regards to stress, you cannot really tell whether one strategy is more stressful than the other because it actually varies a lot. Essentially, it is crucial to make sure that your strategy is aligned with your character. And the moment that you perceive stress from executing your strategy, it will most likely mean that it's not yet set up and aligned enough yet with your character. Then it is very important to start evaluating your strategy versus whom you are as a person.